East Texas voted, Senate District 3 voted 76% for Trump in this last election.
And Trent Ashby is the one you're actually running against.
Yes. Mr. Ashby votes with the Democrats more than half the time.
Wow.
Yes, if you want Nichols 2.0, then he's your person.
He's your guy.
Yep.
There you go.
If you want a Trump, America First person, I'm your person.
You are listening to the East Texas Banner at easttexasbanner.com. Got the great privilege of sitting down with Rhonda Ward. She is running for the Senate race, District 3.
Correct.
Now, this is the one Mr. Nichols is no longer going to be inhabiting. I think he's been there since, 2006? It's been a while.
20 years.
20 years. So we're close there.
Yes.
So we wanted to take our time today to let you tell the people who you are. Obviously, folks of Nacogdoches know. You're from Nacogdoches. You're born in Houston.
Yes.
But you're in Nacogdoches and been there. What are some of the things for the viewer that you would like to introduce about yourself? Because everything that I've read leans to very conservative.
Yes.
And kind of aligns with Trump and everything, American. And I think that's awesome.
Yes.
To have in positions of leadership. So I appreciate you taking time to sit down with us. But
thank you, Jay.
Tell me what your thoughts are. Where are you from?
First off, I'm from Nacogdoches. I was, like you just said, I was born in Houston. My family moved to East Texas when I was 16.
Okay.
And my dad brought 4 girls to the country, and we bought a place at a ranch in Shelby County.
Nice.
And so I went to high school there and finished my junior and senior year in Shelby County and graduated from Center High School. Met my husband there my senior year of high school, or the summer before that. And so anyway, we married soon after that, and we've got 2 boys. They're grown and married, and I have 5 grandchildren. And
awesome.
I came from, like I said, born in Houston, but met a guy that was a cattle buyer with his dad. So I have very much a ranching background with him. That's all I've known with him is ag and ranching. And then we've been small business owners for over 35 years.
Wow.
And I worked at a law firm. Worked at Farmer State Bank and Center was my first job. And then worked at a law firm and was a legal assistant. And then we moved to Colorado for about 13 years. And you would have thought when we moved that we had defected, because I'm an 8th generation Texan.
Sure.
And my first generation actually goes back to Nacogdoches County.
Okay.
So, and then I've got deep St. Augustine County roots. So anyway, you would have thought that when we left, it was kind of like, you're going where?
Blasphemy.
And, yes. And so, but we had the opportunity to buy an outfitting business.
Okay.
And so we did that, and we did trail rides in the summer and horseback, of course, trail rides, and then horseback hunts in the fall. And then we did snowmobile tours in the winter. But in between that, we leased several ranches, around about 1,000 head of cattle. And so for people from East Texas would send cattle up there. Of course, also some of the people from New Mexico, Colorado, but we had some East Texas roots also that sent cattle there. So anyway, but that's my background of being a small business owner. We moved back then, and I had gotten my appraiser's license actually in Colorado. And so they have reciprocity, and I was able to transfer that license and opened East Texas Appraisal Services. And that was in 2003. So I've been an appraiser, and my husband continued with the ranching and cattle. And my youngest, both of my boys were in high school rodeo. And so we're a rodeo family.
Wow.
So
whenever I asked you this morning, have you been busy? You've been busy for a while.
I've been busy for a while. Yes.
So tell me this, just a couple of things right off the bat that we'll kind of dig into a little bit, because this is going to be a very free flow, because I want you to feel free to communicate about whatever you want to communicate about. What do you feel like the biggest issue is for Texas?
Right now, what I think the biggest issue is property tax.
I am so glad to hear you say that, coming from your background.
Yes, but I see it. I see it with, I do refinances. So when people borrow against their home that's paid for, they do what's called a home equity loan. And I've been several times where it's very hard for them, and you can tell when you get there. They're in they're elderly people.
Sure.
They're borrowing against their home to pay their taxes.
Yeah.
And then the one that really hit home for me is when I left one day and the man stopped at the door and he said, "I just hope my children don't find out."
Mm.
So
That's a sobering.
It was, I all the way to the car.
Yeah.
I thought, he is borrowing against his home. He hasn't told his children.
Mm.
And so when he passes on, they do not realize there's a mortgage on the home, and it was to pay property taxes. We have brought some relief for seniors.
Sure.
Not enough, in my opinion. But we have young people that can't afford a home because the escrow, and we have insurance issues as well with insurance rates. By the time they do their escrow account, their insurance and their taxes, it can be more than the mortgage,
Right.
more than the actual purchase of the home. There's a problem there.
Agreed.
And our property taxes have increased larger than the rate of inflation, and something has to give.
So what would, there's been some relief that's come here over the past few years, but, there's this debate of, do we do away with it?
Mm-hmm.
Or do we just continue to reduce it? Or what is a solution that is sensible? Because I think the idea of removing it as a whole has a bunch of hurdles.
Yes.
But the idea of it actually increasing above inflation is even a immediate issue.
Right.
So how do you see, what do you feel like is the better route to go?
I think right now we have to, I think it could be eliminated. I
Okay.
want to look at a lot more numbers with a lot of that.
Sure.
But it would have to be over time.
Mhm.
We can't just say that we're eliminating property taxes tomorrow. I know a lot of people would like that.
Sure.
But in reality, that we can't do that tomorrow.
It's almost like the state has to wean itself off of it.
That's exactly where I was going. We
Okay.
have to also curb spending.
Gotcha.
And we've got, of course, now remember that your taxes are done by your cities, counties, and school districts.
Mhm.
With your school districts being the largest percentage of your property tax.
Sure.
We've got schools that, we've got stadiums that are in the multi-million dollars, and and then we have children though that can't read and write on grade level.
Sure.
And
Absolutely.
that's an issue when we're putting more money into a football stadium than we are into our teachers.
Gotcha.
And I just think that we need to invest more in our teachers and our students than we do. And we could do that. But our biggest issue is bonds. The bonds are what also then trickle down into the property tax for the school districts.
Yeah.
I really feel like that bond elections need to be in March and November. They usually hold them in May or an off time. And I think also we need to raise the margins on the bonds passing. One vote margin, one vote and the bonds passed, and now everyone's indebted for, $30 million is not sustainable.
Sure.
And so I just think that we need to raise the margins to pass for bonds.
Gotcha.
And I think we need to bill bonds as taxes, because you hear bond and a lot of times people just don't realize what it is. And a bond is a tax, and we just need it to be, we need to get the public more aware of bonds are a tax. And I know they put it in a pretty little package, and it's for the children. It's for the children.
Sure.
But when you really dig into it, who is it really benefiting? Are the teachers getting more a raise out of this?
Yeah.
Are we investing in the students?
Yeah.
In the classroom? We have teachers, as most of them, I know most all of them have Amazon wish list. To me, that shouldn't happen. We should
Wow.
be able to provide whatever they need for the classroom.
Teachers having to have an Amazon wish list much like a bride has the
Mhm.
what is it called?
Yeah, the bridal registry.
Yeah, bridal registry.
Hmm.
You know, and they're having to do that to be able to fund things out in their class that
Yes.
they'll need.
Yes.
Yeah, that's absurd.
It is absurd. And there's a lot of teachers, they do this, they put their wish list on, and people can do whatever. Most of the
Sure.
time, these teachers buy this they spend it out of their pocket.
Wow.
So,
So if that is the biggest thing, you know, we have had Mr. Robert Nichols for years here. What do you feel like is the biggest difference between what we've had versus what you would represent?
I am an America First
Okay.
candidate. I am definitely for the Trump agenda
Okay.
of less government and people having more control over their lives. You don't grow government. And that's what we've been doing in Texas for the
Okay.
last many years. I am the true conservative candidate in this race. I've been a small business owner. I know what it's like to meet payroll on Fridays and hope there's enough for your family,
Sure.
because you're definitely paying your employees. And I've been there. And I've been a small business owner. This is capitalism at its finest, our small business owners. And that would be my defining difference, is less government. You know, just seems to me like Senator Nichols has been a lot more, little bit more liberal in the way he's voted lately, and that's not where I'm at all.
He's been referred to, and this is not a shot, but he's been referred to as one of the least conservative Republicans.
He is on the the Rice University does their rankings.
Yes.
And it is a very well respected rankings, and he's very last.
Yeah.
Out of the Republicans, and we can do better. East Texas voted, Senate District 3 voted 76% for Trump in this last election. When you have a senator that is very last on the Republican scale, that is not a representative government. We need a senator that will represent the people and the voting block of Senate District 3. And I was doing Trump trainings in my Senate district, and training people to be poll watchers and poll workers. Sure. And the Trump Force 47 is what we called it. And I also did not see Mr. Ashby in any of those trainings that I was doing, and poll watching or phone banking or block walking.
And Trent Ashby is the one you're actually running against,
yes,
who currently holds House seat.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
And so that'll be an interesting little race for sure.
Yes. Trent, Mr. Ashby votes with the Democrats more than half the time.
Wow.
In the House. So
if we want more of what we've had.
Yes. If you want Nichols 2.0, then he's your person.
He's your guy.
Yeah.
There you go.
If you want a Trump America First person.
Okay. So let's talk about less government a little bit. Okay. School vouchers has been a big deal. Mm-hmm. What's your take on that?
I probably would have voted for that, because we do have a problem with our schools, and we have to get on the field. And what that looks like going forward is going to be up to the parents. If they take advantage of the voucher program and send their children to a private school, as I said, with the property taxes, we're passing all these bonds, and yet our children are not reading on grade level. And in my opinion, I'm a small business owner. If I don't perform and I do subpar appraisals, the lenders aren't going to use my services anymore.
Sure.
I look at education that way. That is, we're throwing money after a situation that's not getting any better. And the only way, to me, you get that, you have to incentivize people to do better.
Spoken like a small business owner, because in the end, let the fair market determine the value of your education.
Yes.
And you will whenever you start putting that money into people's hands.
Yes.
Especially the parents. Yes. That matters. So another point of contention, I guess, in the state has been the legalization of marijuana or not. Mm-hmm. And I know Dan Patrick's position on it. Mm-hmm. But he's been pretty clear.
Yes.
Where do you sit?
I'm with the lieutenant governor.
Are you?
I am.
Okay.
I just feel like it is an illegal substance.
Okay.
The THC is. I've had to do a lot of research on this.
Okay.
Because this is not in my wheelhouse.
Right.
I will say I've had to, because I was like, what are we doing here?
Sure.
Because I have heard from a lot of veterans that it helps them with PTSD, and a lot of people it does help. We're not outlawing medical marijuana.
Right.
You can get a card, a medical marijuana card, and just go to a dispensary and get that legally. What I have heard from is I've talked to many sheriffs throughout the Senate district, and they're seeing a lot of children getting a hold of the gummies, as they call it.
Right.
And I will tell you, I've looked at the packaging. I probably need to go in a vape store. I told somebody I need to go in there, but I want to let everybody know I'm going in there. But because
hey, let us know. We'll come video.
Okay, yeah, and I could just say, okay, my first time. I really want to. I needed to see.
Sure.
They do look like gummies. They look like something a child would buy at the store. At the register when your child's jumping up and down wanting the little gummies or the carrot. You know what I'm talking about? The little the thing look like little sweet tarts, little gummy bears. I have grandchildren, so they're always wanting the little gummy bears. When they look like that, but then you have children that ingest those, and then I have sheriffs and deputies that are telling me, do you know what it's like when you're life flighting a child to Texas Children's, hoping that they survive because they got a hold of that.
Sure.
And which I understand children can get a hold of a lot of things, but when it looks like candy,
right,
and we're selling it by schools, we don't allow liquor stores to be near so many feet of a school.
Right.
Why are we allowing vape shops?
Could that be part of the regulation moving forward?
I think so. I think we have to do something because it's just.
I mean, because you're looking at two different sides of the coin here.
Yes.
You're sitting here saying, or not you, but just society is saying, okay, there is some value here to certain groups of people.
Yes.
And yet trying to keep this out of the hands of children seems to be the same kind of conversation that we were having years ago about the sale of alcohol.
Right.
And, and then we have an entire generation grow up as alcoholics. I mean,
yes.
I'm not going to say the majority, but a lot of them.
Yes.
Or at least maybe it's just that way in my family. I don't know.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, I mean, to me, I think there's a logical way of approaching it. And maybe some of that is through regulation.
I think it needs to be regulated. And I think we have to remember, for a lot of people that are my age, my generation, from my understanding, the THC level that we're dealing with now is not what was happening in the 70s and 80s.
Sure.
That they have refined it to the point where you can overdose.
It's a whole different conversation.
It's a whole different conversation.
So are there actual overdoses on, I mean, are we talking about overdose fatality?
That, from my understanding from sheriffs that I have visited, that I have talked to, I will tell you this is not something that has been in my wheelhouse.
Sure.
I'm not on medical marijuana.
Yeah.
I don't have any family members that are. It was just something that I really was not quite aware of.
I got you.
I have small grandchildren. I do have a granddaughter that will be 16 in a few weeks. But it just really wasn't, how things are just in your wheelhouse.
Sure.
And I've really had to do a lot of research on it, but I do believe that it's something that needs to be regulated.
Gotcha.
Is where I'm at with it.
Gotcha. I can agree with that because I mean, no one wants to see, the children be harmed in the process of this thing, but we do want to see people who are actually benefiting from it benefit.
Yes.
And so tell us some of the other things that you got, kind of your game plan, kind of what you're looking at, tackling.
Well, I feel like right now our border is under control because we have Trump, but Trump's not always going to be there.
Sure.
So we have to make sure our 287G policies stay into effect in Texas.
Right.
And that way our deputies, our sheriffs and all are equipped to deal with the illegal invasion.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. And in Texas, we're unique because to me, it's kind of easy for some of these other states to say you should take them in when they're not border states. But as you know, from living in Jasper and living in East Texas, it's something we deal with on a daily basis. And they're impacting our infrastructure. And we talk about taxes with school taxes.
Sure.
They're in our schools. our hospitals. There are very few rural hospitals left in East Texas.
Yeah.
And a lot of that is they just they couldn't pay the impact of the people that couldn't pay. But yet they couldn't turn them away. And I just think we've got to get a handle on that, but we have to get a better handle because, like I said, President Trump's not always going to be there.
No.
And right now, we've got it at the lowest, as we know, level in ever since they've been keeping records. I would hope that we're going to wind up with a Republican president after Trump. But, right now, though, we have to make sure we keep all that. But yes, the border, and then, like I said, property taxes, and our families are important to me.
Sure.
Of families, knowing that they can raise a family in East Texas and make a living wage here.
Well, see, I asked somebody here a while back, can we just continue to build the wall around the state of Texas to keep some of this West Coast migration out? But somebody told me they're flying in now, so I don't know how it's all working.
No,
but
they're coming in, so I tell them it's. But I was appraising a house the other day, and a guy said that he came here from New Mexico, and he was seeking political asylum. So I was like, "Hey, we're your people." So,
nice.
Yes, we're your
nice. People. Yeah, that's my hope is that we can get the handle on
yes,
maybe making the West Coast, which we have nothing to do with.
Right.
The West Coast a little bit more happy to be on the West Coast.
Yes,
But
yes.
So when is the election coming up?
March the 3rd is the primary.
March 3rd
March
primary.
the 3rd is primary.
So it's on right now.
It's on.
It's time
It's
to
on.
get it. Okay.
Yes.
March 3rd is a primary.
March 3rd.
And then, and so right now it's just you and Mr. Ashby.
Yes.
And so, there any specifics that you want to point out to the people?
Well, I have a lot of endorsements in my race.
Saw that. That's a lot.
I have over 350 endorsements. I have a lot of county chairs that have decided that they are not sitting on the fence any longer.
Nice.
They're coming out and endorse me. I have a lot of precinct chairs. I have multiple. I have precinct chairs in all 18 counties, and in a lot of the counties, I have a lot of precinct chairs that have endorsed me. I also have the voters that have literally texted me and said, "I want to be on the list. I want to be on that list." The other deal that, as we all know, this takes money to do this. Mr. Ashby turned in $1,080,000 on his report, and I'm at 1.2 right now. So we have leveled this playing field, and all of that is individual donors. I've been very blessed with some large individual donors, but they're all within my district.
Nice.
I do not have any special interest money. I do not have any PAC money. And if you'll look at Mr. Ashby's
Different conversation
where it's full of, his coffers are full of Austin Money.
Wow.
And mine is all, like I said, individual donors.
So the way you might be positioning this is kind of like all of us standing up to the Kamala Harris type of
Yes.
influx. I mean, they raised $1 billion and wasn't able to do anything with it. I mean,
Right. Yes.
Because the people were just tired.
Yes. I will be the voice for East Texas.
That's
We have to be Austin has tried to influence East Texas for far too long.
Mm-hmm.
And we need a strong conservative voice for East Texas. We have, in East Texas, we have what everybody else needs. They may have something we want, like
Sure.
shopping or museums or theater,
Mm-hmm.
but we have what they need in Senate District 3. They need water. They need timber to build their homes. They need oil and gas to fuel those homes,
Sure.
to put gas in their cars. We have poultry houses. We have egg production. We have wineries. We have everything they need.
Yeah.
And we need to make our voices a lot stronger and heard and not be drowned out by the metropolitan areas.
Yeah, absolutely.
Texas. And we have where everybody wants to be.
Yeah.
This is God's country. I
Sure.
mean, we're the wide open spaces over here we have the pine trees, but we're rural. But everybody always loves to come visit.
Yeah.
And they always say when they're in Nacogdoches or any of the little areas here on Sam Rayburn or Toledo Bend, how beautiful it is.
Yeah.
Well, we need to make our voices heard, that we we have the beauty and we have what you need.
It's interesting you say that, because I was just thinking when the last time I heard anyone say that they were retiring and they were moving to Houston or Austin or Dallas, Fort Worth. I don't think I've ever heard that.
No.
Most people are looking for low key,
Yes.
a little bit slower on the draw.
Yes.
Everybody's,
But that's why we have to make sure that we take care of our small communities with health care, with rural hospitals, because we do have retirees coming.
Yeah.
And Nacogdoches is actually a certified retirement community. You have to make sure that you're going to provide the services that community needs.
Sure.
And if we want our children to stay there and raise their children, we have to provide those same services.
Absolutely.
And make sure that their needs are being met.
Any last things you want to put out to the people? Where can they find? So say they're sitting out here
Yes.
and they're like, okay, I'm all in.
Yes.
All in. How do they support? Where can they go to support?
Rhonda for Senate.com, and 4 is spelled out. It's RHONDAFORSENATE.com. RhondaForSenate.com.
RhondaForSenate.com.
You can go on there. You can also see there's tabs there that have endorsements, also contributions. We all campaigns need money, but there's also an events tab there, and I am making a town hall blitz around the district. And in fact, I will be in Jasper tonight at the Belgium Hotel, and from 4:30 to 6. And I would be glad for everybody to come out and have your questions. And but then Monday evening I will be in Beaumont at a bakery there. And then you can go on the website and see under events. I am hitting almost every county.
So kind of where the tour is.
It's where I'm doing what's called a town hall tour.
There you go.
So
Easy
I would
enough.
be glad, and I want to meet the voters. I'm coming to them. I'm not asking them to come to me. I'm going to the voters.
A little bit refreshing, actually.
Yes. Well, I'm a grassroots gal, and so that is my roots, is grassroots, and you have to go to the voters, and
Very awesome, very cool. It's actually it's exciting.
thank you.
It really is.
Exciting.
It is exciting to actually hear what hear some of your positioning on things logically.
Yes.
And then from a standpoint, because I think one of the things that's very frustrating for blue collar folks out here is that they vote and put a person in office. And it's almost like, I'm not going to say integrity goes out the window, but there's a lot of other things pulling on that person when they go to Austin. Oh, if you want to do this, then this is what I'm needing done over here. It's this type of thing. So I understand there's some maneuvering,
right?
But we don't need it. We don't need to feel like we're not represented.
No, and that's what I've said. We need representation of our district.
Yeah.
And Trump won Senate District 3 overwhelmingly. Handedly. And we need that representation in Austin, and we need it to be heard. And the thing is, like you just said, integrity matters.
Sure.
The truth matters.
Yeah.
And freedom matters.
Right.
And those are things that I will bring from those are East Texas values. That's all East Texas values.
Agreed.
And they just need to be reflected in Austin.
Yeah. It's kind of like this. It's kind of like, in a way, blue collar men, blue collar women, families out here. It's almost like they want to go and work a job, get the paycheck when the boss says they're going to get the paycheck, be able to take care of what little bills they have.
Yes.
But they don't want to come home and feel like they're being robbed from Austin.
Right. No.
And so, and that in a big way, that's really kind of been, especially around this property tax point. It just feels like you're working your butt off out there.
Yes.
And you get home and you're like, hey man, listen, you can't keep your place.
No, I'm for families and community. My oldest son manages an oil and gas plant in North Texas. My son Dylan has a lawn care business.
Yeah.
Does very well with that, but he has always wanted to be outside.
Yeah.
And that's his He's just an outside kid. He was never the kid that played video games. I even tried a time or two just to get him to, you want kids to just hear, I need about 10 minutes. And
You're right.
he was never the video game kid. So he has always wanted to be outside, but he's an outdoors kid.
That's awesome.
He's the one that still team ropes. And so he ropes at the house. I have an arena there at our house with roping steers and the horses, and he ropes probably 2 or 3 times a week. So
Very cool.
anyway, and then goes to some jackpots and all. But he was in high school rodeo and college rodeoed, and but he's that. That's part of my why, because I have children that are in that age group that they just want to provide for their families. They want to be a productive citizen of society.
Sure.
They want to raise their children in a safe environment, but they also want to know that at the end of the week they have a little bit left to, go to the lake or take their family on a vacation.
Or just put in savings.
Or just to put in a savings account. Yes, to know that, we've got it in there if something happens. We need it.
Something.
We need a little fund, a rainy day fund. But that's where I'm at. I see this with my kids, and that's my why. We have to get it right.
Yeah.
Because they're concerned about soccer practice, spelling test, what's for supper tonight.
Sure.
And that should be their focus, because they're raising our most important commodity, which is our children.
Yeah.
And they're also building our future with their families. They don't have time to know what's going on in Austin. They have to hope that their elected officials get it right. I am going to get it right for families and communities.
Well, let me just say this. I really appreciate your time.
Well,
I really appreciate you just cutting to the chase. The thing I've done this quite a bit with a number of different candidates, and you can always tell what I like to call the dancers.
Yes.
As opposed to all right, by God, here's where it's at.
Yes.
Here's what we're doing. Here's what needs to happen.
Yes.
So, any last things you want to put out to the people?
I'm going to Austin to work for you.
Okay.
I will represent you in Austin. I'm your voice in Austin. And everybody in Senate District 3 is going with me. They don't know it, but they're going with me.
There you go.
Because I need everybody. And I need them to hold me accountable. And together, it takes all of us. Together, we will make Senate District 3 great again.
There you go. So if they want to support, they can go to rhondaforsenate.com.
Correct.
And they can also check out where your town halls are.
Yes.
And you're going to be all over
Senate District 3.
Senate District 3.
Yes.
And if they have any questions, I'm sure that they can show up at the town hall.
Bring it to the town hall, and also have a Facebook page, Rhonda for Senate. And they can go there and post a question. So
awesome.
Yes.
Ms. Ward, I really appreciate your time.
Well, I thank you, Jay.
Good luck to you.
All right. Thank you.